Good evening, this is STV News. The Tokyo Metropolitan Government will hold a monitoring meeting for the new coronavirus with experts on the afternoon of the 19th. The number of newly infected people in Tokyo reached a record high of 493 on the 18th, and the number of confirmed infection has increased significantly. So the policy is to raise the infection status to the most serious level on a 4-point scale. The alert level of the city was lowered by 1 level on September 10, but it will return to the highest level for the first time in about 2 months. The medical care provision system will maintain the second most serious need to strengthen the system. The number of newly infected people in Tokyo increased sharply in November. On average for 7 days, the number increased from 165.4 on the 4th to 244.3 on the 11th, exceeding 300 on the 18th. The cumulative number of confirmed infections in São Paulo, one of the largest cities in Brazil and one of the centers of infection with the new coronavirus, was 385,216 as of the 17th, an increase of 2,415 people from the previous day. The death toll increased by 61 to 14,008. The bed usage rate in the intensive care unit of the city hospital increased by 4 points from the previous day to 44%. It is calculated that 1 in 32 citizens was infected. As of 17, the cumulative number of infected people in Tokyo, which has a population of about 1.7 million more than the city of São Paulo, increased by 298 from the previous day to 35,229, and the number of deaths increased by 4 to 476. On the morning of the 9th, Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga called on the public to wear a mask when eating and drinking as a countermeasure against the new coronavirus. "I also want to be through from today," he said. He answered the questions of the reporters at the Prime Minister's office regarding the fact that the number of people infected per day in the country exceeded 2,000 for the first time. The Prime Minister acknowledged that he was at maximum caution. He added, "Especially experts have pointed out the risk of infection through eating and drinking, and even when eating and drinking, I am told to wear a mask during conversation. I would like to ask for a quiet mass dinner." On the morning of the 19th, the government Okinawa Prefecture and Ginowan City in Okinawa Prefecture held a working group at the Prime Minister's office to discuss measures to reduce the burden on the U.S. Marine Corps FUTENMA Air Station, the city. Deputy Mayor Kazuhiro Sugita attended the government side, and Kichiro Jahana and Deputy Mayor Keigo Wada attended the Okinawa side. This is the first time that the working group has been held since the inaugurations of the Suga administration. The working group was established under the FUTENMA Air Station Burden Reduction Promotion Council, launched by Abie administration in 2014. This is the 11th time since September last year. Governor Ikuo Kabashima approved the construction of a dam on the KAWABE River, a tributary in the river, which was cancelled in 2009 at the Prefectural Assembly. All members council on the 19th over the hydraulic control measures for the Kuma River Basin in Kumamoto Prefecture, which was flooded by the heavy rain in July. Express your intention to do so. After the plan was cancelled, the national and prefectural governments have been searching for hydraulic control without dams, but heavy rain disaster occurred without taking drastic measures. After 11 years, the hydraulic control policy will be changed significantly. Unlike the conventional plan, which was multi-purpose dam used for water control and water utilization, the construction of a running water type, dam dedicated to water control that stores water only during floods, is in mind. They aim to realize basin hydraulic control that combines hard measures, including dams, and soft measures, such as early evacuation. When asked what to do when an elderly driver aged 75 or over was trapped in a railroad crossing by car, about 80% did not know the recommended behavior of moving forward and pushing up the barrier to escape. It was found in the survey by J.R. West that he answered. According to J.R. West, there were 94 train and car accidents at railroad crossing in the jurisdiction during the 5 years until 2019. About a quarter of them were drivers over age of 75. A person in charge of the company said, "We will continue to make efforts to widely publicize it through various opportunities." According to the number of foreign visitors to Japan, estimated in October, announced by the Japan National Tourism Organization on the 18th, the number of Indonesian visitors to Japan decreased by 97.9% from the same month of the previous year to 700. The cumulative total from the beginning of the year, January to October, is 71,000, a decrease of 77.6% from the same period of the previous year. The number of Indonesian visitors to Japan has been 100 in April, less than 10 in May, 20 in June, 50 in July, 200 in August, and 200 in September since the full-scale coronavirus disease. The slump continues with 300 people. On the 18th, the Third Committee of the United Nations General Assembly, Human Rights, voted on a resolution submitted by the European Union condemning North Korea's human rights violations, including abduction issue, without voting by consensus, adopted. The same type of resolution has been adopted for 16 consecutive years. North Korea rejects the resolution. China and Russia did not join the consensus. Japan has jointly submitted a resolution with the EU every year, but this year as well as last year. It has forgotten this and only showed its support for the resolution. One of the most prestigious literary awards in the United States, the National Book Award, was announced on the night of the 18th, 19 morning of Japan time, and Uriu 52 feature-length novel, J.R. Ueno Station Park Exit, was added to the translation literature section. The English version of was selected. J.R. Ueno Station Park Exit was published in 2014, and the English translation Tokyo Ueno Station, translated by Morgan Gills, was published last year. Toshiba announced on the 19th that it has developed a next-generation battery called an aqueous lithium-ion secondary battery, aqueous battery. The feature is that it uses a non-flammable aqueous solution as the electrolytic solution to generate electricity to improve safety, making it possible to charge and discharge below freezing for the first time in the world. Aiming for practical use in the 2020s, such as for storage batteries that store electricity generated by renewable energy. TBS announced on the 19th that singer MISIA dropped a horse while recording a horseback riding scene on the news program News 23 of the same station, broke the thoracic spine protrusion, and was diagnosed as having a total healing of 6 weeks. MISIA is said to be receiving medical treatment at home. According to the Bureau, the horse on which MISIA was riding suddenly accelerated and fell during the shooting at the riding club on the 15th. MISIA's agency canceled the live performance on December 5th and 6th. She says that she will continue to discuss carefully in the future. MISIA has also decided to participate in NHK Kohato Utagasen at the end of the year. The Nippon Professional Baseball Series will start on the 21st. SoftBank, which has won the Pacific League for the first time in 3 years and aims to be the best in Japan for the 4th consecutive year, and the Giant, who has won the Central League in a row, meet for the 2nd consecutive year. Last year, SoftBank was overwhelmed with 4 consecutive victories, and the Giant was humiliated. Explore the highlights in 2 serials. And that's all for today. See you tomorrow for another news update.